80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris.
I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise.
Something just tapped on the tent.
There's my hand. Look at the size of that footprint.
Oh, shit! Oh my goodness. See? Oh.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. This video comes from a relatively small and new YouTube channel called Degenerate Wilderness, known for its unpredictable outdoor trips, often in questionable weather conditions. Their content blends rugged adventure with a touch of chaos, making each upload feel like it could turn into a survival story at any moment. The group kicks things off at a spot called Rattlesnake in Ohio. Spirits are high. They're laughing, showing off their latest gear, like upgraded sleeping pads, lightweight chairs, and string lights bought online. One of them straps a GoPro to his chest early on, joking that at least the chaos will be recorded properly this time.
We made it to Rattlesnake down in somewhere Ohio. Pretty good. Got the string lights from Amazon. Wetsuits right there. Tarp we're gonna throw up. I just got this new, which one is it? Nemo something.
Moonlight Elite.
Yeah.
Nemo chair.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. About a pound. Not bad at all.
Very expensive though, but
yeah, really expensive. We just got, all 3 of us, upgraded our sleeping pads because the Amazon ones were not cutting it. Look at that. That's a sleeping pad.
There's a casual attitude toward the incoming weather, which at this point seems more like a mild inconvenience than a serious threat. But things escalate quickly. A powerful storm begins rolling in faster than expected.
Let's get the fuck out of here. We gotta go. Christian, come on. Is this the right way?
wait, might be more left.
I think it's
right.
left. Yeah, I think it's that way. Emergency evacuation.
Evacuation.
80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris.
What started as a casual camping trip quickly shifts into a tense situation as thunderstorm warnings turn into evacuation orders. Wind gusts exceed 80 miles per hour, and flying debris becomes a real hazard. Despite the growing danger, the group tries to keep morale up with nervous laughter and jokes. They attempt to retreat to their vehicle, only to realize they left the key back at the site. With no one eager to go back alone through the worsening storm, the group decides to return together. What follows is a chaotic scramble through torrential rain, slick trails, and blinding flashes of lightning. The forest around them bends and buckles under the extreme conditions, and there's a real fear that their camp might be destroyed, or worse. Against all odds, they make it back. The site is battered, but still intact. Tents are standing, firewood mostly dry, and the string lights still glow. There's a strange mix of disbelief and relief as they inspect the damage. Later, they find out that the storm system had caused fatalities in nearby Kentucky the night before. It's a sobering reminder that nature isn't just dramatic, it's deadly. Sleeping in the car, once seen as overly cautious, suddenly seems like the smartest choice they made. This wasn't a case of paranormal activity or cryptid sightings, but the raw intensity of the storm brought its own form of terror. It highlights how quickly nature can turn from peaceful to perilous, and how ill-prepared many of us might be when it does. What would you have done in their shoes? Press on through the storm, or abandon camp entirely? Let us know in the comments, and if you've ever faced something like this, we want to hear your story. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Uploaded on July 10th, 2025, this video from the Northwest Wind documents a solo camping trip in one of Pennsylvania's most infamous Bigfoot hotspots. The creator spent 3 scorching days in a remote section of a massive state forest, known among cryptid enthusiasts for its unusually high number of sightings. The video opens with a mix of dry humor and genuine curiosity. It's the final night of the trip, and the host is visibly worn down, tired, overheated, and bug-bitten.
We are in the most active Bigfoot zone in Pennsylvania right now, and tonight we are going to try and summon Bigfoot to this campsite. So it's the last night of my trip at this lovely campsite. I've been out here for 3 days. Very moist, tired, flummoxed. We've eaten good, we've slept not good. We are out here in north central PA. I don't want to give away the state forest that I'm in. It's also along a very popular watershed with fishing and recreation and all kinds of stuff. Very, very isolated, but also a very, very big draw. If you're looking for Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings, there's a very big concentration of those in this area. I'm out in Pennsylvania all the time. I've only had one encounter in Pennsylvania where I was not sure what I had encountered. It was something that's a human. It was a noise that I could not explain that sounded very ape-like, but also from far enough away that I had no semblance of it was or what it looked like or how big whatever it was from the top of a ridge in a steep river valley, kind of like one I'm in now. Since I've already been here for 2 days, camp is already set up. I filmed another camp last night, tent set up, bed stuff. I slept in it last night. We've got the Yeti cooler with we got some burgers and dogs. So we cooking Frankie, you know, like Uncle Frank from Home Alone. I do have some firewood, so we're going to build a nice, delicious, cozy fire tonight. Finally broke down and bought myself a thermocell, and let me tell you, I did not know what I was missing out on. I've put on so much bug spray the past 2 days that I've been out here that literally like burning my eyes and burning my forehead, and my hands were so moisture, chafing. And it still was not keeping them.
Still, he's determined to make the most of his time by attempting to summon Bigfoot to his secluded campsite. Located in north-central Pennsylvania, the campsite sits deep within a 145,000-acre stretch of forest, far from roads and foot traffic.
Give you a little tour of the campsite. I'm set up over here. It's literally been 92 degrees for the past 3 days out here, so very hard to sleep, very moist. Luckily, I have my USB fan. I did not put my fly on my tent just for breathability's sake. Sleeping with both doors and walls completely open. Last night was absolutely miserable. So it is what it is. I got one more night. We're going to fish again tomorrow and then go home and hopefully hang out with Bigfoot for a few minutes. Nice and secluded campsite though. Got a fire ring, which is nice. I did bring some wood. Gonna collect some little kindling and punky logs and we're gonna get a fire going after dinner. Got a nice campsite here. We are at the end of this road. The road dead ends right there. We are in a state forest. And I have the truck with me, meaning I'm able to be bougie. I've got power station in there. We've got the Yeti cooler, and we're down at the end of this road, but also down in this little hock down here. So I'm asking all of you. I don't know if I believe cold-hearted, truth, fact, 100% in Bigfoot or Sasquatch or some kind of bipedal primate-style creature figure that lives in small populations in desolate rural areas. I see it as being very plausible or possible. I don't say it's impossible because it's definitely not. There's a lot of videos that you could tell are fake. There's a lot of videos and photos that are questionable, and there's a lot that are like, is that real? In my mind, there's only two possibilities. Either it's real or it's fake. We haven't explored every square foot of even Pennsylvania, for example, where I am right now. So could it be out there? Yes, I guess.
While he doesn't disclose the exact name of the park, he notes it's near a popular watershed used for recreation and fishing. It's the kind of place that seems perfect for something to go unnoticed. Though the host has spent significant time camping in Pennsylvania, he recalls only one moment in the past where he heard a sound, deep, guttural, and unfamiliar, that left him questioning what it could have been. That memory adds weight to this trip, despite the playful tone. With camp already set up from the previous night, he takes viewers on a quick tour, a small fire ring, scattered gear, and an intentionally Spartan tent setup to allow airflow in the sweltering heat. To fend off the relentless bugs, he introduces a device he just purchased, a portable insect repeller, which, according to him, is working surprisingly well. As part of his experiment, he places an apple high in a tree and half a hot dog nearby, traditional offerings often mentioned in cryptid folklore. These simple food items are meant to attract attention from anything, or anyone, lurking in the woods.
Something just startled me up. I don't know what it was that woke me, but I was having deep, vivid dreams, and all of a sudden I was just wide awake, and I heard something. I want to say sounded like wood knocks, very close, maybe a couple 100 yards up the hill. Like, close, though. I thought I heard it once, then I heard it again. Like, go back and watch my wood knocking, that's what it sounded like. Like, intentional wood knocking sounds. I haven't heard it since, but it's 100% what it sounded like. Just before 5 a.m. I've actually been sleeping pretty good tonight. I did wake up to pee a few times and heard those knocks. Thought I heard what was, I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise. But nothing that felt anything close to like, it was like but it was like not a 7-foot tall hairy man sound. It's about 5:30. Light enough out right now where I'm just going to get up, bite the bullet. I think just laying here for 40 more minutes-ish until my alarm goes off is not going to do me any good, so we're going to get up and start the day.
Throughout the evening, he initiates a series of wood knocks, spaced out in intervals. According to cryptid lore, creatures like Bigfoot are said to communicate with rhythmic knocking. The host acknowledges that while he's skeptical, he's open-minded. In his view, either Bigfoot is real or it isn't, and both possibilities remain on the table, especially in places as unexplored as this. In addition to knocking, he also tries other common signaling tactics, banging rocks together and making vocalizations known as whoops. Though the tone occasionally borders on parody, the effort appears sincere. As night deepens, the atmosphere subtly shifts.
They're both still there. They're gone. Well, that gives me the Willie McGillies. They're both gone. The apple was up there. The hot dog was right here. That gives me the creeps, big time. It's daybreak, and I have more creeps than I did at any point during both of these nights I was out here. Let me see if the apple's down in these bushes or if something, maybe it fell, maybe something tried to take it and it went down, but I just got like a chill down my spine. So let's be realistic here. Odds are it was a squirrel or a raccoon or something that could easily climb the tree very much stealthily and quietly and took the hot dog or the apple off the branch. But just knowing that they were there, you know, about, I mean, you see how far behind me I was camped, you know, 100 feet, 150 feet, give or take. They were there and now they're not. I was convinced that they would still be there, that...
In the early morning hours, he's abruptly woken from deep sleep. Something startled him, and moments later, he hears what he believes to be two distinct wood knocks echoing from a nearby ridge, closely resembling the knocks he made earlier. While brief and unconfirmed, the experience was unsettling enough to keep him alert. By dawn, the real surprise comes. Both the apple and hot dog, placed in separate and visible locations, are gone. While raccoons or squirrels are the logical explanation, their silent disappearance overnight causes genuine discomfort. He admits he felt more uneasy seeing the food missing in daylight than he did at any point during the night. Despite attempting to laugh it off, there's a lingering uncertainty. No tracks, no noises, just empty space where something used to be. Though no definitive evidence was captured, the sequence of events, the wood knocks, the disturbed sleep, and the missing offerings align closely with reported patterns in Bigfoot lore. Still, nothing rules out the possibility of common wildlife. It's this ambiguity, the space between fact and folklore, that makes the encounter compelling. Could the knocks and missing food truly be signs of something watching from the forest's edge? Or was it all just coincidence and hungry animals playing their part in a larger myth? Let me know what you think in the comments. On July 14, 2025, Exploring with Bear returns with a new overnight adventure in a place ominously referred to as Psychopath Bigfoot Forest. This time, he's joined by his wife Tiffany, who hesitantly agreed to revisit the location after a frightening encounter during their last trip. As night falls and they settle inside their tent, the mood is initially lighthearted, filled with banter. But it doesn't take long for things to change.
Welcome back to another adventure, fam. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jared Bear. For tonight's adventure, my beautiful white... Take two.
Wolf.
Was that a wolf? Welcome back to another adventure, fam. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jared Bear. Tonight, me and my beautiful wife, Tiffany, have come back to Psychopath Forest, Bigfoot territory. I can't believe she agreed to come out. Why did you agree to come out with me again?
I didn't.
Well, holy smokes, that's a frickin' growl, man. Right outside the tent. That was a frickin' growl. That sounded so mean. You can hear it moving.
A deep, low growl, too close and too unnatural, echoes just outside the tent. Branches crack nearby, followed by the sound of deliberate, heavy footsteps. Bear quietly points out that whatever is out there is large, and circling them.
So I am going to go out a couple times throughout the night and get some different shots of the forest, and I'll put those up throughout me and her. We're just going to stay in the tent then and find out, if anything happens. Last time our tent got hit.
What if it's just like a homeless person living out here,
I thought of that.
A lot of homeless people have... Never mind. What the freak?
Something just tapped on the tent. I don't know, but that was definitely a tap on the tent. Oh, that came up on camera. This is what's spooky too. So we can at least see this side because we've got some fire going still. But this way, we got that side open, but we can't see like what's on that side. And they can see right in at us. So that's sort of spooky. Yeah, they can see right in on us.
They remain in the tent, debating what the noise could be. Is it a wild animal? A person? Something else? Bear recalls that during their last visit, something had physically struck the tent. Tonight, it feels even more unsettling. Then it happens.
Let's hear.
What? Bigfoot, my boy?
Bigfoot, my boy.
Jerry, I feel like the light is blinding me. I can't see a thing.
Nope, you are correct. That's how it feels to have a light at night, yeah. You can't see anything, around you. Yeah.
Okay, so, and that's another scary thing. If something were to happen and we were attacked, I would have no sight, no vision.
But I'm out here, so you should feel good.
Is it? Well...
You'll hear me get attacked before anything.
Huh.
Yeah.
Whoop!
Whooping.
I just thought, that's like the girl version. What if he's like, wants to mate?
People's commented that before. Like, what if it's like a mating call? And you're like inviting them for a good time. Whoop! No, we don't want that. We do not want that. We just want to hear that come back to us.
A distinct tapping sound on the tent's fabric. Both of them freeze. The fire outside illuminates only one side, while the other side is left in complete darkness, fully exposed to the woods. They argue whether to turn off the flashlight, realizing that the light might make them more visible from the outside. Distant snapping sounds continue. At one point, Tiffany lets out a Bigfoot-style whoop into the forest. It's meant as a joke, but Bear nervously wonders aloud, what if that's an actual call? What if it's being answered?
Holy smokes, that's a frickin' growl, man. Right outside the tent. That was a frickin' growl. That sounded so mean. You can hear it moving. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I'm glad Tiff didn't hear that, man. I just about grabbed my pants. For sure she would have grabbed her pants. Something just scraped across the tent. What in the world is that? Listen. What was that?
Later, Bear spots a faint light flickering in the woods. He wonders if someone or something is out there. The cracking of branches intensifies. Another growl is heard, this one closer and more aggressive. Bear admits it shook him. He records quietly, trying to remain calm while sharing the moment with his viewers. As the night drags on, more noises surround the tent, snaps, pacing, and the feeling of being watched. At one point, something scrapes along the side of the tent. Bear whispers for the audience to keep their eyes peeled for reflections or figures in the background. Despite the overwhelming urge to investigate, he stays put, recognizing the danger of venturing outside. The video ends with Bear thanking his viewers and encouraging them to like and subscribe if they enjoyed the adventure. He promises more unsettling explorations ahead. Some viewers speculated the growls were from a territorial animal, possibly a bear or mountain lion. Others believe the sounds and movements suggest something more intelligent, perhaps a cryptid like Bigfoot, or even a person trying to scare them. The light in the forest raises even more questions. Was someone else really out there, watching? Was this a genuine wildlife encounter, or something far more sinister? And if someone, or something, was watching them that closely, why didn't it attack? Or did it plan to wait until they let their guard down? The next unsettling clip comes from Metal Detecting in Alaska, a channel operated by Keith, who shares his treasure hunting adventures throughout the remote and unforgiving terrain of Alaska. On January 29, 2020, while navigating a muddy backtrail, Keith and his grandson Joe come across something they weren't expecting.
All right, so me and Joe are coming out this old road, and we have to cross this giant little mud bog. So he crosses, and I'm just about to cross, and he says, "Hey, I thought I saw some kind of footprint." So we started looking, and check this out, guys. This is freaking crazy. Look at this. Do you not see this? Oh, there's my hand. Look at the size of that footprint. You can see the toes.
As they make their way down a rough, swampy path, the two are forced to cross a large stretch of mud. After Joe makes it across, he calls Keith's attention to something embedded in the ground. Upon closer inspection, they realize it's a massive footprint, deeply imprinted and surprisingly well-defined.
Wow. I think that's like a Bigfoot footprint, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Others probably stepped here. It looks like a right foot.
And then jumped.
Over there and kept on going. Wow, that's crazy. Look, there's another big mud hole up there. Let's go up there and see if we might see another one.
Yeah.
Bigfoot!
The track is large enough to dwarf a human hand, and the shape is distinctly foot-like, complete with clear toe impressions. It doesn't resemble any print from local wildlife, and there's no sign of footwear or tread. The pair try to trace a second print nearby and speculate that whatever left it may have taken a long stride or jumped over a gap in the trail. With growing curiosity, they move further along the muddy road in hopes of spotting additional signs. The conditions are cold, and the mud is thick, making the presence of such a clear barefoot impression even more perplexing. The footprint's proportions and detail, particularly the visible toes, strongly resemble a human foot, but at a much larger scale. The idea of someone walking barefoot in freezing mud seems improbable. While skeptics might dismiss it as a prank or misinterpretation, the clarity and placement of the track raise more questions than answers. Given the location and weather, one theory remains difficult to ignore. Could this have been the trace of a Sasquatch? Could this print belong to a known animal we've simply overlooked? Or is it a rare piece of physical evidence pointing to something more mysterious? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you've ever seen anything similar on a trail, we want to hear your story. On the night of June 23, 2009, a group of friends parked under a quiet, starlit sky found themselves witnessing something they couldn't easily explain. The footage, uploaded by Hale Caden, a content creator known for exploring paranormal activity and unidentified aerial phenomena, documents what appears to be a series of flickering lights hovering above them. At first glance, the lights might have been mistaken for passing aircraft or the result of camera interference, but the longer they filmed, the more unsettling the scene became. The moment begins with a view from inside their vehicle, a casual setting that quickly gives way to confusion as their attention is drawn upward.
Yeah, looks like they're recording me.
Are there lights still there?
Still in the same place.
Can I borrow the headlight?
Oh my goodness.
See?
Oh.
3. And in a different position.
That's cool. I should get the telephoto and then zoom.
Above them, 3 glowing orbs hover, shifting in brightness without a clear pattern. The pulsing is erratic, neither consistent nor rhythmic, and the lights refuse to behave in ways typical of commercial planes or drones. As the group attempts to adjust their viewpoint, switching lenses and zoom levels, the lights still fail to follow any recognizable movement. Most curiously, the orbs seem to change location, depending on where each person is standing. Walk a few feet in either direction, and their position appears to shift dramatically, like they exist from some angles, but not others. In an effort to better document the event, the group cycles through various devices, night vision cameras, smartphones, even higher zoom optics. But no matter what equipment they use, the lights seem to distort in frame, bending unnaturally, making it nearly impossible to determine whether they are extremely far away or disturbingly close. Despite the strange visuals, the group remains composed. There's no panic, no dramatic reaction, just quiet tension as they sit near a campfire, watching the sky. The more they observe, the more personal the moment feels. One person notes how near the orbs look through a telephoto lens, and that comment seems to shift the energy. This is no longer just weird, it's unnervingly intimate. Throughout the video, the lights appear, vanish, and reappear again, always in different spots, always slightly off. The way they pulse doesn't match any traditional flight signal or known aerial navigation. The group throws out theories, lens flares, bugs, planes, but none account for the precision, placement, or oddly organic nature of the lights. What makes this video stand out is its raw simplicity. There's no dramatic music or over-editing, just a group of people stunned into silence, recording something strange with whatever they had on hand. Some viewers speculate that this was a classic UFO encounter, pointing to the orb's erratic behavior, lack of identifiable structure, and the optical distortion as evidence of something not easily explained. Others suggest it could have been a trick of light or a rare atmospheric anomaly. But even skeptics admit that the consistent movement and multi-device recording give it a level of credibility that's hard to ignore. Why did the orbs only seem visible from certain angles? If you've ever seen lights like this, or if this reminds you of something from your own experience, share your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes, it's the quietest footage that lingers the longest. We often assume we have a clear understanding of our surroundings, but sometimes, in the stillness of night or in the silence of forgotten places, it's the unexpected, the unseen movements and subtle warnings that remind us how little we truly know. This video, originally shared by Dave Explores, follows an experienced urban explorer known for venturing into long-abandoned locations. His channel focuses on uncovering real-world mysteries, visiting ghost towns, remote desert sites, and overlooked pockets of history. Over the years, he's documented everything from decaying homesteads and rusted vehicles to relics of old mining operations. On April 2, 2023, while investigating a series of deserted structures and derelict vehicles, Dave encounters something far more dangerous than broken floorboards or collapsing roofs.
This place is a snake infestation. Oh sh! Two snakes. I am wearing my gaiters, by the way, but still, where did that snake go? So this is that other vehicle I was referring to. Turns out it's just a cab. And looking back at what we just looked at, that's the building with the Toyota Corolla. And there's that other house right there, which we're not even going to. So let's continue onward. Like, I'd love to see what's in that house, but It's just not gonna happen. Not today. Continuing forward, we have a couple other homesteads which I'm not going in. Not after that rattlesnake.
Two snakes, one presumed to be a gopher snake, the other unmistakably a rattlesnake. The encounter escalates quickly. One of the snakes, later confirmed as the rattlesnake, strikes in Dave's direction. Though wearing protective gaiters, the suddenness of the lunge forces him to quickly back away. You can tell by his reaction that the moment wasn't taken lightly. The close call clearly shook him, leading to a swift reassessment of his exploration plans. After scanning nearby buildings, including an abandoned truck cab and several deteriorating houses, he decides not to proceed further. A structure he initially intended to explore is dismissed entirely. Despite his curiosity, he knows the risks are too high. With venomous snakes active and hidden among the debris, he concludes it's not worth continuing, at least not until colder months, when the reptiles are less likely to be out. He wraps up the video with a reflection many can relate to. Snakes are among the most fear-inducing creatures out there. Whether it's their venom, how silently they move, or just the primal fear they trigger, even a brief encounter can leave a lasting impression. While the incident may seem minor compared to other dangers explorers face, it highlights how unpredictable abandoned areas can be. Nature reclaims forgotten places, and in doing so, turns them into habitats for animals that don't take kindly to surprise visitors. The fact that the snake struck despite Dave's precautions shows how quickly things can go wrong. Was this just a random close call, or do these abandoned places hide more threats than we think, both natural and unnatural? What would you have done in Dave's place? Let me know in the comments. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.